it's Monday. It's Monday the 23rd. Today, I just got to go a little earlier. So if you're thinking you're live, you're just a little bit late, or I'm just a little bit early. So Monday morning, got a huge week this week. Super excited. So I'm up early on Monday, and I got to visit with my mobility folks a little bit earlier than usual. So let's get into a nice wide stance. Wide stance, anchor it, heels just outside of toes. So if you're watching this live, yesterday was the Women's World Championship in Nice. And what an epic day for so many people. So congratulations if you did that yesterday, or even if you were a spectator, but especially if you did it. Mad respect, huge event and huge accomplishment. So let's take it easy. Everyone can benefit from easy, right? Just because it's hard doesn't mean it's better. So let's just take hands on hips and just take that right hip to the midline. And when the right hip goes, the right shoulder goes. So this is functioning as a box, which maintains the integrity of the spine. So just nice and easy, right hip to midline, left hip to midline. Just moving easy. Keep your eyes straight down the road. Let's push the hips back 2 or 3 inches and just gently rotating through the hips, through the pelvis. So because I'm maintaining the integrity of the spine, I know that this rotation is coming from the hip joint itself. So just nice and easy, just toggling. If this is the first thing that you've done this morning, so if you're in North America, this is definitely you're getting out of bed and you're just starting your day off with some nice movement, right? We want to enhance movement. From right there, let's just work the hip hinge. So right just back and forth, just hinge to the back. And then you come to neutral. And then if you can, let the hips go ever so slightly to the front. And it doesn't mean I want you to really push forward. I don't. I just want you to hinge to the back, keep the chest up, maintain the integrity of the spine, and then just gently to the front. So just gentle to the back, gentle to the front. So as soon as you go here, you're starting to load that posterior chain, right? Nice and easy. All the toes stay on the ground. Keep your stance anchored. That means heels are slightly outside of the toes. A couple more here. Good. And good. Just nice and easy. So now we're going to add a hand driver. So that means when the hip rotates to the middle, we're actually going to add a reach. So it adds a little bit more load to the posterior chain just by using the weight of the arm. So right here, push the hips back a little bit, anchor your stance, right hip, and then right arm. And then come back, left hip, and then left arm. And as you reach the arm, work the hinge just a little bit more. Hinge back, right rotation, push the hip back. Left hip, hinge, push the hip back. So we're using the arm as a counterbalance. Hips back, rotate, push back into it. Hips back, rotate, push back into it. Hips back, rotate, push back into it. Good, that movement's getting bigger and bigger. Be patient, and then we can just start making it into one movement. As we start to reach, we start to rotate a little bit more. We're bringing in more thoracic spine, right? So it all has to make sense. Still going pretty much to the front. Don't go way over here. Just start pulling the lead shoulder back just a little bit, or the trail shoulder. So as we rotate to the right, pull the right shoulder back, reach with the left. Good. Good. Let's go 4 more of these, starting right here. 1, hip goes first, 2, 3, and 4. Whew, good. So we've just got a little bit of movement. Next thing we want to do is just bring a little bit of life into the lower body. So all we're gonna, or the lower leg, okay? So all we're gonna do is just a couple of feet toggles. So weight shift onto your heel, up onto your toes, heel, toes. As you push up into that plantar flex position, push into your big toe, the ball joint of the big toe. So you're getting a little bit of internal rotation there, all the way up the chain. Good, working through the feet. And good. And then one more with a big overhead reach. So you're just taking two hands, reach overhead, a little bit of extension, but don't try to turn yourself into an inverted C. All right? So we're just reaching straight up, little bit of back bend, minimal. Reach up, open it up, come back down. We take these little movements for granted. We really shouldn't, right? You want to have good shoulder and upper body function. There, reach up, there. Start feeling that little bit of tension and length through the belly. Start to use the breath with a big inhale. Big inhale. One more. And good. All right. Right foot behind the left foot. And we're just wrapping, right? And all we're going to do is shift the hip to the right, hip to the right, hip to the right. Good. Starting to wake up that lateral line. And good. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So left foot behind the right. That immediately loads the lateral line, the lateral fascial line. And we just want to gently toggle that way. Just nice and easy. And good. All right, let's take the right one. Right foot behind the left. And we're going to go right arm up. So the lateral line extends from that TFL through these obliques and to the lat. So we just want to be able to just get that big side bend. People, you know, it's funny, those of you that stick around and show up every Monday, I just love you because you've started to see over time that simple things done really well and done consistently are highly, highly effective, right? So 10 years from now, if we're here still doing the same thing, and as long as you show up, I'm going to show up. So that's the biggest thing. If we're doing this nice mobility every Monday, and then we go play golf, we go play soccer, we go run races, we do triathlon, we do all the things. In my mind, it's all the things. I love all the sports, right? But the most important thing to me and the message that I want to give is you should be able to do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it. So if somebody says, hey, and if you watch often, you know I'm not a big pickleball player. I don't choose to play it. That risk is not worth the reward for me. For many people, the risk is worth the reward. And so I want you to be able to play pickleball if you want. The risk is you might fall, you might hurt yourself. The reward is big fun, right? So that's not my idea of big fun. Big fun for me, I don't know, massive bike ride. If I wanted to go skiing, I could go skiing. If I wanted to climb a mountain, I can climb a mountain. But most importantly, I can keep up with my friends. And I have really fast friends. Okay, so let's take this knee out to the side. So left knee is going to go over toe. Right arm is going to open. And we're just nice and easy with this big arm driver, hand driver, which is an extension of the rib cage and the thoracic spine. Good. So the elasticity in the muscle, the ability and connective tissue, the elasticity of the joints and the confidence in the joints comes from mobility, but it also comes from strength. So ultimately, I love movement, but I really love strength training. So the strength training plans that I adhere to and that I suggest for people are really specific to what they want to do. So if you want to do all the things, you get a program that's specific to all the things. If you want to just run faster, we can really dial that in to the specificity of what you might need to run faster. If you want to play pickleball, then you need to have the program that does all the things. If you want to ski, it's amazing to me. My golf programs work amazingly well for skiing. So it's just one of those global understandings of your body and your body in space and your body as a tool to bring big fun, right? Good. And having pain or experiencing a detriment in performance is not big fun. So we can bring everything up. It's all possible. Okay, let's bring this into, and if you can't do this from a half kneeling position or this full kneeling position, then go ahead and stand up and just try to mimic it. So here I'm in the half kneeling position. If for some reason you're somewhere where you need to be more into that wide position, you'll still be able to do the work, to do the session. So I'm going to do this from half kneeling, lateral. We're going to go after the adductor just a little bit with just a nice easy toggle. Keep the chest up, push the hips back. Good, we can add the hand drivers to the front. Not overcooking anything. We don't need to go to extreme end range to get big benefit. You just need that muscle to have that elastic quality. And the brain, because we do these things consistently, the brain begins to trust the movement and not shut you down. Unless the brain is trying to protect you from something. So if I pulled a groin playing basketball, this would be a little bit more difficult. But if I just had a big fun weekend of training and hiking and whatever you did all weekend, you'd probably get more range of motion. Okay, good. So that's our lateral half kneeling. Got a little bit more into the adductors. Let's take that into a seated position. And from right here, leaning back, opening up the hips by just leaning back, right? Feet are nice and wide. We'll just go into that really gentle, easy, happy hips. And when you drop that right knee to the midline, make sure it's not short. So if the hip has a bunch of flexion, that's a short hip. You want to open that hip up right there. That hip is open, and just be able to then even open that up into the belly. Not the belly of the muscle, the belly. Good? Good. And every time I do that, we're definitely getting an upper body response as well. Like what's happening through the shoulders, what's happening through the thoracic spine. Just nice and easy. And good. All right, a little bit of hamstring flossing. So from right here, let's lay on our back. And the first move is we have to understand that the hamstrings attach to the pelvis. So the first thing we're going to do is just a nice easy toggle. So I'm really happy when I can lay in this position and there's no space behind my low back and my hips are flat. That tells me that I don't have tight hip flexors and my hamstrings are thus not on a stretch. So if you can just lay just like this into this knees elevated position and just pull your pubic bone towards your belly button, you will flatten your hips and you will get a neutral pelvic position. Most people, like there's always going to be an anomaly here and there, but most people, when they just can pull that pubic bone to belly button, flatten the back, flatten the hips, you're going to be in neutral. When I'm in neutral, my hamstrings are in a great position to then start to work. So let's keep both knees up. Take your left knee, grab behind the hamstring here, just nice, perfect arm length. And we're just going to extend. Now I'm getting all the way up there. If you've done a lot of work or you raced Ironman knees, you might look a little bit like this because those muscles have been under duress. They need to heal. They need to hydrate. So just take what it'll give you. Don't force anything. I did have a good training week, but I'm obviously I'm recovering well from it. So you just want to be able to get through that. Find that happy end range. Don't force anything. Make sure your low back stays flat to the ground. And we'll go 2 more. And good. And now keep this knee up. Neutral. It's easier for you to maintain neutral pelvis with both knees up. Okay, so if I straighten this knee, now I'm starting to be maybe a little bit into an anterior tilt. But don't worry about that right now. Just keep that left knee up. Grab hamstring. Nice and easy. Restoring movement. Preparing the body for a great week, but also acknowledging hopefully you had a great weekend. Even if you had to travel this weekend and sit in an airplane, this stuff is going to be really nice. Let's go 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Keep both knees up. Grab left hamstring, straight up, or you might be right here. That's okay. Just extend straight up, and we're just going to point and flex through the foot. Active lower leg. You'd be surprised how inactive it can become if you don't pay attention to it. 3 more. 1, 2. I'm trying to get to about 10 reps here. But sometimes when I talk and I try to count, I'm going to be off 1 or 2. So just know we're going for 10, okay? And I apologize that I'm off. I'm just probably like your trainer at home, not the best counter. But it's important. If your trainer's counting perfect, that means they're more concerned about your numbers than your form and what you're trying to accomplish. So coaching and numbers, we want to get as close as possible. I'm pretty good, but I would be lying if I thought I was perfect. Absolutely not perfect. 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. And good. Okay, wide stance with the feet. Now we're going to go into that happy hips, down low. And this first one, we're going to keep the shoulders down. So shoulders down on the ground, long through the belly. Reach here. You might start to add an inhale. Inhale. Good. Now that SI joint is starting to toggle a little bit. That pelvis is starting to move and decouple. Now we're going to bring right knee to the midline, right ribs all the way over, and come back. Left knee to the midline, left chest all the way over, and come back. Good. Now let's add the hand driver. So right knee, right arm, getting through the lat. And good. All right. Gently get yourself up. Just take a second. Sometimes that gets you a little bit lightheaded. We're going to go into that wide stance again. Hips to the back. Hands on the knees, kind of like you're playing third base. Shoulders down and away from your ears. And from right here, we're going to just do that archer to the ground and come back up. So we're getting this rotation. And 5. You guys, happy Monday. It's September. I hope you're thinking about the off season, and I'm super excited about the off season. Lifting some heavy stuff, getting stronger, creating positive physical change, which ultimately, without question, you get a positive mental vibe from that too. So stay strong, have an amazing week. Leave some comments. Happy to respond to anything. If you'd like to be my guest with any of my bigger picture strength stuff, definitely just ask. You can send me an email or put a note in the comments, and we will get you a link and get you set up for 2 weeks. Do 2 weeks with me. See how that changes your life. Okay, talk to you. Bye.